Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. You know that feeling when it seems like your eyebrow's trying to send a secret message in Morse code?
Uh-huh. I know exactly what you mean.
Well, get ready, because today we're taking a deep dive into the fascinating world of eyebrow twitching. And we've got our trusty medical text right here, ready to help us decode those twitchy signals.
Sounds intriguing. I'm ready when you are.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. We've all been there, right? Stressful week at work, deadlines piling up, maybe one too many cups of coffee to get through the day.
Oh, absolutely. Those are classic triggers. Our bodies have their own way of waving a little red flag when we're pushing too hard. It's like they're saying, hey, time for a break.
Right. Like, give me a nap and some chamomile tea stat.
Hmm.
But seriously, it's a good reminder that rest and a balanced lifestyle are crucial. Our bodies are pretty smart, even if they send us messages in Morse code sometimes.
I agree. But sometimes there might be more to those eyebrow acrobatics than just stress or caffeine.
Exactly, and that's where our medical text comes in. It mentions this thing called dystonia. Ever heard of it?
I have, yeah. It's a neurological condition that can cause those involuntary muscle contractions. Sometimes it's more like a persistent spasm. Other times it can even lead to repetitive movements or unusual postures.
So kind of like when your muscles have stage fright, but instead of forgetting their lines, they just freeze up or start doing their own thing.
That's a great way to put it. It can be a bit like that.
Ah.
And then there's hemifacial spasm, which the text also mentions.
Hemifacial spasm. That sounds almost like a dance move. Like your face decided to have a party, but only one side got the invitation. But seriously, with conditions like those, you definitely know something was up, right?
Right, they're not exactly subtle, but it is important to mention that sometimes those more noticeable twitches can be a sign of something more complex.
Like what? Give us the rundown.
Well, conditions like Bell's palsy, multiple sclerosis, even Tourette syndrome, they can sometimes interfere with those nerve signals that tell our muscles what to do, and eyebrow twitching might be one of the ways it shows up.
Okay, so an eyebrow twitch could be a clue that something else is going on, but it's just one piece of the puzzle.
Exactly, and that's why it's crucial to see a doctor if you have any concerns, because they can look at the big picture, all the symptoms, and figure out what's really going on.
Makes total sense. Speaking of seeing a doctor, the medical text does call out some red flags, those eyebrow twitching moments, where you really should pick up the phone and schedule that appointment. What were some of those?
Well, if your eyebrow twitching decides to become a long-term house guest and sticks around for more than a few weeks, that's a sign to get it checked out.
Yeah, you don't want your eyebrows stealing your spotlight that long.
Exactly. And it's not just about duration. If it starts to invite its friends over, meaning the twitching spreads to other parts of your face or even your body.
Oh no, an eyebrow twitch party. Nobody wants that.
Definitely not. And especially if those uninvited guests show up with their friend, other symptoms, that is. Things like drooping on one side of your face, sudden weakness, slurred speech. Those are all signs that you need to seek immediate medical attention. Like, don't even finish the deep dive. Just call the doctor.
Couldn't agree more. It's always better to err on the side of caution when it comes to our health. But for those everyday twitches, the kind we all experience, our text actually has some pretty practical tips.
Hmm.
And get this, it talks about the importance of potassium and magnesium. I mean, who knew those minerals were like the chill pills of the muscle world?
Right. It's fascinating how everything in our body is interconnected. Electrolytes like potassium and magnesium are like the stage managers for our muscles, making sure everything runs smoothly.
So it's not just about cutting back on the things that might be triggering those eyebrow tap dances, but also about giving our bodies the nutrients they need to, well, not twitch. Do you have any favorite go-to sources for potassium and magnesium? Asking for a friend with a twitchy eyebrow, of course.
Of course. Let's see, for magnesium, leafy greens like spinach and kale are your new best friends. And don't forget those avocados and bananas.
Okay, making a mental grocery list as we speak. What about potassium?
Sweet potatoes are a great source, as are beans and lentils. Even a nice, refreshing glass of coconut water can give you a potassium boost.
Wow, see, I love these deep dives. We start with a simple eyebrow twitch and end up with a whole nutrition lesson. It's amazing what you can learn.
It really is. And it makes me wonder, what if we all paid a little more attention to these subtle signals our bodies send us? Could those eyebrow twitches actually be a gateway to understanding ourselves better?
That's a great question, and definitely something to think about. So there you have it. We explored the why behind those mysterious eyebrow movements, from the common culprits to the more unexpected, and even uncovered some practical tips for finding relief. Take care of those twitchy eyebrows, folks, and until next time, keep those curious minds engaged.